Hi, welcome to Donsky Tech. I'm here to show you how I created my real-time display of sensor values using Python, Flask, and WebSocket. As you can see, these sensor values are coming from my Flask WebSocket server using the Flask-SocketIO package. I am using Chart.js in displaying my dummy temperature values, and I have configured my server to send WebSocket messages every 1 second. But nothing would stop you from sending it on a millisecond basis as I am using WebSockets, so there is little overhead. If we take a look at the console logs, then you would see the logs of the WebSockets messages that I am displaying. Let us go over the code if you'd like to know how I did this. Let's proceed now to inspecting the code. The code for my project is in my GitHub account, which you can see also in the description of this video. You can either download or clone this repository and open it with your favorite IDE. I have used Visual Studio Code in developing this project. Let's go over each line of the code for you to understand how this works. By the way, the steps on how to run the project is in this page also, so you can go over it so that you can follow or set up this project. So if I open my Visual Studio Code, then you would see there are only a handful of files to look at. The very first one that we will take a look is the most important, which is the sensor app.py file. Our sensor app.py file actually contains the Plus application and the WebSocket server configuration using the Flask-SocketIO library. As you can see, we are running our project using socketio.run instead of the usual Flask application run configuration. Also, there are decorators associated with our Plus socket IO, which is in the connect and in the disconnect method. But you can create your own as well. But for this project, we don't need additional decorators as we will just be pushing our sensor values into our HTML page. Everything is encapsulated in this background task, which runs the very first time a WebSocket client has connected. If we take a look at this background thread, you would see that it just generates random values, and then after generating, it calls the socketio.emit using this particular name, which is update sensor data. This update sensor data is important for us to know how the WebSocket client will respond. And then after which it will sleep for 1 second. And that's all for how our sensor app.py works. So let's now proceed with the inspection of the index.html page. If we take a look at the index.html page, you would see that I'm using the following libraries in making this HTML page work. I have the jQuery for the JavaScript, and then the socket.io JavaScript library also. And for the charting mechanism, I'm using the Chart.js. I have used this minimal library called the min.css just for the styling purposes. And the most important part of this index HTML page is this particular div. As you can see, there's just one element, which is an HTML5 canvas, which is used to display the line chart of our project. And that's all about regarding the index.html page. If we take a look at the app.js, this is the part of the application that encapsulates the logic of retrieving the WebSocket messages coming from our WebSocket server. So let's take a look first on how this code works. So I have here the declaration of my chart.js. So I have just one data set, which is for the temperature, and some option configurations like the border width and the border color. And then I have two functions that manipulate our data inside our data sets, which is the add data and the remove first data. So the reason there is a remove first data in here is that we are limiting the number of our data count to only at least 10. So if there's an 11th value or our 11th WebSocket message that comes in, then the first value will be dropped. So that's why there is a remove data here. And then in the add data, there is what we call as the my chart.update, which updates our chart.js line chart. So, and then this one is the important part in the socket connection. In the socket connection, we just connect to our WebSocket server. And as I have mentioned before, the important name of our message, which is the update sensor data, which you can find here in the background thread, the update sensor data. So once we receive the message in the update sensor data, we just console log it, and then we check if the data exceeds the number, which is 10. If it exceeds 10, then we remove the first data. And then after which, we just call the add data. And that's all about how actually the code works. The app.css file that you're seeing here is just for styling purposes so that the width of our container will not exceed the maximum width we have set, which is the 800 pixels. And that's basically how our real-time sensor display works using Flask, Python, and WebSockets. I hope you learned something. Happy exploring!
Hi! If you like the videos that I have created, then please consider subscribing to my YouTube channel and other social media channels. Hit the notification button so that you will get notified for new contents. Please do comment, like, and share. Happy exploring!